Alrighty traders, today we're going to be looking at the stock market. The stock market, there's actually a few key patterns I'm looking for when it comes to the stock market. I want to share those with you when it comes to that. We got some trend lines I want to talk to you about. Also, there could be a bit of a false breakout pattern happening on the gold market. So gold and silver could be, or especially gold could be creating that false breakout pattern. I also want to share with you what's happening with Tesla. I think Tesla is creating a potential movement on the downside. I also want to cover Nvidia, something I was talking about with Nvidia. There's a lot of stuff that I want to cover with you today, guys, in this video. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. So traders, I want to get straight into it. Traders, make sure you grab access to that free trading course on the screen right now. There's actually 4 phases that goes into that free course I'm giving away. Phase number 1 is all about the foundations and what goes into a good trader. Phase number 2 and 3 is all about chart reading and chart reading mastery. Some things that you probably don't understand, but understanding the different phases the market's in is very, very important. And then phase number 4 is all about my trading system. So I'm giving it away for free, guys. Go get the help for free. And again, that's that first link in the description there. So let's actually get into the good old stocky market, guys. So the good old stocky market is this, right? We're actually, look at this. So if I bring up the last sort of 6 months, this is the Nasdaq here. And the Nasdaq, you can see how we've actually been bouncing off this trend line all the way up. So is this going to be the start of the big move? Big move down? Question mark. Maybe. Let's actually see here. So, or is this just going to be another continuation before they see the move up? So the really big key here for me is I'm watching to see whether we do get something like this here. Do we hold here? Do we hold here and then start the breakdown through there? If we do get something like that, especially on the Nasdaq, there's 2 things that's going to be happen here. Firstly, up, higher, low, higher, low. If we come up through there and then we roll over, that's now what? That's now creating some sort of lower high. That's the first thing I do see. So lower high, and that first thing I do see. Second thing I do see is that the first thing is the lower high, if we do get that. Second thing would be a breaking of the trend line. Now, I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, guys. We need to wait. If the market is going to start that 10% move on the downside, this is probably what we're going to see first, okay? If it doesn't do that, hey, ricochet rabbit, this thing is just going to keep being on its euphoria move to the upside. So maybe that does happen, but we'll have to wait and see. So the first thing is that lower high. Second thing, guys, is the trend line itself, right? So the trend line itself. And the third thing I do see is indeed this level here of support and resistance, right? Support and resistance. So we have this whole, all the resistance through here. It came down, found support. So X marks the spot. If it breaks this trend line, then we could start to see what? We could start to see this move, you know, coming down towards, especially the Nasdaq, coming down towards that level through, say, 14,200 or somewhere around about there. If we have a look at the Nasdaq, same sort of situation, right? The same similar situation here. We've been coming up. Do we roll over? We definitely have this whole major level of support through here. And if we break that, then this actually could be one big false breakout pattern, right? Look at this here. The Dow Jones has pretty much done nothing. So if we break this level, which is that 38,000 level, then we could start to see the Dow Jones make its way down towards that, say, 36 to 35,000 on the Dow Jones. So that's definitely something I'm watching for to see that. And if that, we could start to see the movement on the downside from there. Looking at the S&P 500. And you can see here on the S&P 500, look at this here, the same situation, right? We had this sort of sideways movement, then we had this breakup bar, and it continued up. We had this little sideways movement. So the last little resistance and support was around about here somewhere. Right, it was definitely around about there somewhere. As you can see, that was that last support level. If I go to the 3-month view, right, and bring this trend line up a bit more, that's that low, higher low. If we do break this low through here, same sort of situation, right? We have a 1, lower high, 2, breaking of this trend line, and 3, we also have breaking this level here. If we get that, then the probably 10% move on the downside around the 4,600 to 4,500 is probably what's going to be starting. Now, I am expecting that, guys, because if we just look at this from a big picture perspective, what is this? This is like Is everyone still getting sucked into the markets, right? That's basically what that is through there. So I wouldn't be touching, guys. No touchy, right? So that's what I'm looking at there, guys, when it comes to the good old stock market itself. Let's go look at the Russell. Now, the Russell's different. Look at this here. This is the Russell here. The Russell is still doing what? We have this low, and we actually have a slight little high low, and now we're coming down through here. So the Russell to me is like, oh, look at the Russell, right? If the Russell does start to, like I had this trend line through here, right? If we had this all this resistance, and now we're at this level through here now. If we start to break above, say, 205 on the IWM, then the next level on the IWM is probably going to be up there around that, say, all-time new highs, or at least around 230. Actually, probably a bit higher than that. Yeah, so around about that 230 level. So if I go back down and zoom it in there, if we do get a breakout here, guys, we get a nice little breakout to the upside here, up, and we get another strong little breakaway bar like that there. That could be the start of a move to see that thing then start to have a big move to the upside. So something you really want to keep an eye out for is that Russell, because if we do start to break up here, we are in a very strong upward trend. And if I show you my blue moving average, which is my 52 moving average, if you look at the angle of it, look at this here. See how it's, look at this there. See that there? What is that? That's what's called strong momentum. So if we start to get the breakout, guys, and we start to get something like that, which I do see happening, but if we do get something like that, guys, if I go back to this smaller time frame charts here, then we could possibly start to see the Russell start to take on some serious price action here. Now let's go look at gold. And gold right now has indeed broken past support level. We've been squeezing up, and we broke back to the downside. At the start of this video, I talked about how gold could be in a bit of a slingshot pattern, a bit of a false breakout to the you got what, Dow Jones false breakout to the upside, and potentially false breakout to the downside on the gold market through here. So what is that? What is the false breakout? False breakout is that we have all these low points through here, right? We break past support level. If indeed, guys, this actually could be like a bit of a mock charge pattern, right? So if indeed we do hold and we get something like this, let me bring on the good old black. Get something like that, right? And then if we get something like this here and we hold and we get something like that breaking above there, guess what that means? What is that? This is now creating this is probably going to be a final low and a bit of a slingshot move. All right, I call it a slingshot move is because we get the breaking past support level and then we get the big move up. If we get something like this, traders, then that could be the start of a very, very big move in gold up towards the 2,500 level, and then eventually even to the 3,000 target on gold. Now, I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, guys. So like, let me get in now. Remember, guys, we have this set up in the markets, and then we wait for confirmation. Okay, wait for confirmation. Confirmation of a probability. I'm going to say this again. If we get this here, that's the confirmation that we're now likely to see a 2,500. This is confirmation of a probability. That means it still can actually do something like this on you. Right? It's like, oh, John said it confirmed. That means it's definitely, no definites, right? No definites. So let's go look at this. I hope you can see that through there. Let's go look at the silver market. And the silver market, look at this here. The silver market's actually really weird. Silver market's actually major level of support level through here. If we break this $22 level out of the silver market, look at this here. Down towards the $20 level, it's probably going to go there. So really weird. Gold could be potentially having a false breakout to the downside, which is a bit of a slingshot move to the upside. And silver's just doing nothing, right? Silver's just in no man's land, just doing nothing through here. Silver investors are really, really, really getting ticked off. But something I was talking about with my private clients today, guys, and I was saying that, hey, if we get a breakout here soon, silver, for you long-term investors in silver, I think silver could be having that big move if we do eventually if we get a break above this resistance up here, which is around that, say, $26 or more, then we could possibly start to see silver really, really, really starting to gallop pretty big time from there. So I did talk about NVIDIA. I call it Nevada. My private client today. I was talking with them today. It's like, oh, Nevada. It's like, no. The really interesting thing is Nevada. I've been watching the UFC. If you guys are into the UFC, I've been watching the UFC. I'm getting excited for the fights this weekend. And so obviously, you know, Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada. So that's why Nevada. It's Nvidia. Nvidia, John, right? Nvidia's been in what? A tear move to the upside. A tear move to the upside. Right? So, with the tear to the upside on Nvidia, then guess what? Is this like a bit of a buy, and then when the earnings comes out, we then drop? Is that what's about to happen here, guys? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. You know, is this because the earnings come out on the 21st, right? Which is, as you can see, I'm doing this this is my time anyway. So this is obviously this is basically this time next week. So this time next week is when the video comes out. Ooh. Is this about, are we about to get an earnings that is about to see this thing move on the downside? Maybe. All right. And the last one I want to share with you guys, the good old Tesla. All right, Tesla. And the reason why I want to bring up Tesla for you is because, let's bring up this chart here, is because look what's happened through here. Really interesting pattern. Firstly, we had a major break below this support level. See that? That was a major level of support and resistance all through this level through here somewhere. That was that level through there. Look what's happening through here now, guys. We've gone down, up, down, up, down. Look what's happening here. We're just going sideways. If the moving average starts to catch up, Tesla could be getting ready to be going down through here. So everyone that was short Tesla is eventually going to get... I was like, it's really interesting, right? It's like everyone, there's been a lot of shorting interest in Tesla, but there's been so many people like really happy to buy Tesla because of the whole Elon Musk situation. So there we go, traders. There's a bit of an update for you. The last thing I want to do, traders, is that whenever you're trading the markets, try not to guess. And remember that those who try to chase two rabbits catches none. The purpose of me saying that, traders, is that if you're in the markets right now, actually I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, and he was saying all of last year he was chasing 5 rabbits at the exact same time, and he ended up losing big time. Right, 50% of his account was down last year because of the fact that he was chasing 4 or 5 rabbits, meaning he was looking at 4 or 5 different things at once. So the way you become a master at these things, traders, and this is the reason why I teach you my trading system in phase number 4 in that trading course, and also in phase number 1, I actually had the 13 biggest mistakes. One of those biggest mistakes, guys, is that we're trying to have 4 or 5 trades every day, and we're trying to make sure we're having 4 or 5 trades every day, and also we're trying to trade 3 or 4 different systems because we think more trades, more systems equals more income. And if you've been around the markets now for a few years or more, then you'll know that that's the opposite, right? You have a lot of systems you're trading and a lot of trades, it equals you end up going backwards, right? You lose money overall. Now, every now and then, you're obviously going to have your losing trades, right? But overall, you have a really stressful time with your trading because you're just like, oh man, this thing sucks. It's like, why do I keep going backwards for, right? And so for me, traders, I look at the market every day and I'm just looking for my number one. I just have one simple pattern. Again, I teach you all the rules to that system in that trading course for free, but I just have one simple system that I'm looking for. So anyway, traders, have an amazing day.